Assalamu alaikum and hello everybody. My name is Qasim and this is my first tutorial on PHP. In this tutorial we will learn about the basics of PHP and MySQL. The syntax of PHP is very similar to that of C and Java. Basically the PHP interpreter is written in C. So if you have some background knowledge of C, it will be very easy for you to learn the PHP. But if you don't have any knowledge of C, don't worry. The syntax of PHP is very simple, and after doing some small exercises, you will be able to very easily code in PHP. The course outline is as shown. First of all, we will learn the basics of PHP, that is introduction of PHP, followed by introduction to MySQL. Then we will learn what is a web server and all the tools needed for PHP coding. Then we will learn the basic PHP syntax and coding of PHP in HTML and all the different commands that PHP use in its coding. In the end, we will learn something about MySQL. Let us think of a scenario. There is a client that is connected to a web. In your client, there might be any one of these browsers installed. Might be it is a Google Chrome or Safari or Internet Explorer or a Firefox. In your browser, you type a URL, for example, www.etechrunch.com. So your browser sends a request of URL www.etechrunch.com to a web server. The web server checks that request from the client and respond to the client. There are a number of things that a web server does. There might be a Linux operating system installed at side of web server and Apache web server, and it may take help of a database server like MySQL. So the PHP runs at this site on the web server side. Therefore, we call PHP as a website scripting language. Here, this table shows differences between different types of languages being used in today's development of web. First of all, HTML. HTML handles the basic contents and structure like text, images, tables, and forms. It basically shows the static side of a web, and it runs on a web browser. On the other hand, the CSS handles the style and presentation like color, fonts, backgrounds, margins, and padding. If you want to give some colors, you want to change the background, you want to change the fonts of your web page, the CSS can help, and it also runs at the browser sides. Then there is a JavaScript. It handles the client side scripting, like dynamic user interaction, pop-ups from form validation, etc. Here comes our PHP. The PHP, as I have told you, handles the server-side scripting, server-side logic and data processing. It runs on server side, while the others like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript you can see runs on the browser side. And in the end, here is the data management software or language, MySQL. It handles the data management, stores all sorts of data needed by a website. It also runs on the server side. So what does this PHP stands for? Originally, PHP stood for personal home page. In today's modern world, the PHP is acronym for Hypertext Preprocessor. Here the H and P stands for Hypertext Preprocessor, and this P basically stands for PHP. So it is basically PHP Hypertext Preprocessor. This guy, as you can see in the screen, this jolly guy, his name is Rasmus Lordorf, and he is the original creator of this PHP. He's a Canadian national and a computer expert. PHP is open source general purpose scripting language. It means that PHP code is readily available on the net. You can check its code on the website. The other web scripting language can be ASP.NET. That is basically by Microsoft. It is a property of Microsoft, and if you want to use ASP, then you have to purchase its license. But on the other hand, PHP is an open source and free to download and use. PHP is suited for web development. PHP scripts are executed on the server side. It means that client has nothing to do. All the things in PHP happens on the server side. All the scripts are executed on the server side. PHP supports many databases like MySQL, Informix, and Oracle, etc. PHP is free to download and use. You can download it from www.php.net. There are a number of other websites from which you can download PHP. In the end of this tutorial, I will show you the Windows users and Linux users from where you can easily download the PHP. PHP is easy to learn. The syntax is very easy. After doing a couple of exercises, you will be able to easily code in PHP. PHP runs on different platforms that includes Windows, Linux, Unix, etc. So you can see the examples of PHP are social websites like Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, OLX.com. These are big names. There are a number of small websites that are also developed in PHP, but PHP in PHP there are a number of websites, big websites like Facebook, Twitter that have been built. There are news websites like bbc.com. In its background PHP is also running. WordPress sites like www.etechcrunch.com. There is also WordPress coding PHP coding on the background of this site. You can build small to large scale applications. Small application may include clocks and calculators, etc. PHP, as I have told you, is an open source, unlike ASP by Microsoft. MySQL is a database server. SQL is the abbreviation for Structured Query Language. It is most popular open source database management system. Basically, it manages all of your data, all of the data of a website in different tables, and on the query of a client or user, this SQL can efficiently search out the required data from all the tables or database. MySQL is ideal for both small and large applications. MySQL compiles on a number of platforms. It means it supports a number of platforms. A web server. So what is a web server? A web server is a computer system that stores all websites for users to access. If you are a client and you are connected to a server machine, every client, whenever he connects to internet, he is connected to some server machine. He sends a request to the server, and on the request of a client, the server generates a response. The response comes back to the client, and it interprets response appropriately and shows it in a browser. It is very important. The communication between client and server takes place using the hypertext transfer protocol. So the protocol used between a client and the server is HTTP. So the primary function of a web server is to store, process, and deliver web pages to the client. The client requests something in his writes something as a URL in his web browser. He sends that request to the server, and the server, after checking that request, sends an appropriate response to his client. Web servers are usually set up in facilities like data centers and operated by hosting companies. What are these hosting companies? Hosting companies can be like GoDaddy.com or HostGator, a US based hosting company, or Google itself. So these have big size computers in their data centers, big size servers in the data centers, and the clients are connected to those servers, and these servers send back the response on the basis of users or clients' request. Servers store websites so that people can visit them on internet. All the websites are stored on these servers, so the client, whenever they type in some URL, on the basis of that request, the website content is sent back to the client and they can easily see it in the browser. There can be other servers like file servers responsible for availability of stored files and their management as well as security. Like example can be file transfer protocol. There are application servers dedicated to serving a certain piece of software and used in conjunction with other servers and softwares. For example, you may sign up for online gaming and be directed to servers set up solely for the gaming software. Examples can be Java application servers, .NET framework, or PHP application servers. There are some message servers like the name indicates. These are real-time communication. These gives real-time communication between users like IRC servers and chat servers. There are database servers. They can manage a database as it is stored on the server. They may use the SQL database management system. SQL can be an example. Other example of database server can be Oracle. Here you can see how the clients are connected to a web server. There are 3 clients. They are connected to the internet through a LAN or WAN connection. Here to the application server, the client sends request to the application server. The application server check that request and respond back to these clients. So let's come back to the PHP. These all are the tools that you need to program in PHP. First of all, of course, you need a PHP, then an editing software that is Notepad++, and you need XAMPP. That is basically you can say a software. You don't have a server at your site, so you want to simulate a server at your own computer. For that you need it. In the coming tutorial I will tell you how to download this software and use it, so you will have a clear idea what this software is. Then comes MySQL. This is a database server. The browsers that of course you need. For Windows users, you can download this PHP software as a whole package from vampserver.com or windows.php.net. For Linux users, you can download it from apachefriends.org/en/xampp.html. I should tell you that VAMP you get the complete package of PHP, Apache Server, MySQL, and Firefox. In the coming tutorial, we will learn something about XAMPP. If you like this tutorial, just subscribe to my videos, and in the coming tutorials we will learn the syntax of PHP and how to use it.